Out there with my teammates. Yeah, a big testament to all the trainers and everyone. They did a really good job helping me get back to where I need to be.
Coach Farron said that you were a big guiding force for Addison last year when he had to step up in the tight end room. What did you see in him in terms of growth, and where is he at from the end of last season to now?
Yeah, I mean, Addison has done such a great job. He did a great job when he stepped in there, and super proud of him. He's grown a lot since last year. I feel like he's gotten more confidence in his abilities because he's a really good player, and I'm just super excited to see what he can do this season.
Speaking of injury, how did you see him acting when they kind of overcome and get through last year?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of great things from Cade. I think he's said several times he's 100%. So I see him out there running, and he's doing a good job with that. And he's doing a good job commanding the offense, and really helping everyone out, learning it and trying to improve. So it's been great.
You get a sense of extra motivation on his end to come out. I mean, he was able to play with Michigan and he was able to play with the championship game last year.
For sure. Yeah, I get the sense of that. I can't really speak for him, but I'm just super excited for him to go out there and play again. And I feel like he's been throwing as well as he ever has. So really excited to see how it goes.
Luke, obviously the tight end has been such a focus at Iowa in the offense. Big change, new offensive coordinator. Are you still feeling that emphasis of the use of the tight end with Tim Lester as the OC?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I see the same, if not more. And I feel like, as long as Coach Ferentz is the coach, he's going to be using tight ends. He told me a story once that after one game they had maybe lost or it was close or something. His wife told him, it was in the 80s, this was a while ago, but she said that, I just don't think you guys gave the ball to the tight ends enough. So I don't know, you guys might need to fix that. And so he's kind of taken that with him for as long as he's been coaching. So it was a cool comment.
Look, what's your dad? Your dad's here. You got to hang out with him a little bit. What's his role been in your football life?
I get asked that a lot, and it's more so, he's more of a dad than he is like a football dad. We just really like when we talk, we just like to catch up and talk about life. He lives 8 hours away, doesn't get to come out to many of my games, so we'll spend some time talking about the game, talking about some of my teammates and stuff like that. But the majority of it is really just talking to each other and seeing how we are doing.
So what's it like growing up in Columbus, where your dad's the color commentator for the Buckeyes? Did you grow up a Buckeye fan?
I did, yeah. Yeah.
So okay, is that something you wanted to eventually do? Is play for the Buckeyes?
I feel like anyone's dream that they grow up in Columbus and playing football is to one day play there. And but at the end of the day, I wanted to carve out my own role. It was cool growing up there and being able to go to practices and stuff like that. But now it's all Iowa Hawkeyes, and just super excited for the opportunity I've been given and I've earned, and I'm happy to carve out my own own story.
What's it like being able to share this moment with your dad, not just once, but now for the second straight year?
It's cool. It's neat. I'm fortunate that he's able to be here. Any chance I can get to see him, it's fun, and to be able to do it 2 years in a row and have him here twice in a row, it's really cool. So it's fun.
Is it the chance to play there this year too? You trying to get some tickets for that already?
I haven't really been thinking about that too much. I just, if people want to go, they can just kind of fend for themselves. It's tough. It's hard. So, yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
I just wanted to ask what you thought about your player rating.
Oh, I'm happy with it. It's I have an 88 overall on there. It's a fun game. My brother and I have been playing against each other. So I don't want to put too much thought into it. It's just a video game. So at the end of the day, I'm just trying to go out there and I get a lot of messages from people saying that they like to play with me and saying I won the Heisman for them or something like that. I'm like, well, that'd be cool if it were true, but it's just a video game. So yeah.
Luke, has there been a newfound confidence with the wide receiver group under Lester's offense? Obviously at Western Michigan, he had a lot of success with guys, like the play types that they have at Iowa now. Have you seen that new confidence with those wide receivers?
Yeah, I'd say so. They've done a good job, in their new role, and I've just seen them going out there and doing whatever Coach Lester asks of them, and I'm excited to see what they can do and what they can show.
What has Tim been able to?
Again, like last year.
Okay.
All easy ones. Welcome back again.
Thank you.
What's it like again to be here 2 years in a row representing Iowa, knowing all the people that have been here? What's that mean to you that they picked you again and you're representing the university?
Yeah, it's an honor. It's super cool. Really fortunate to be able to come back here again. It's player voted and by the coaches and stuff, and so to be able to be voted twice to be able to represent my university, it's an honor I don't take for granted, and I'm just super blessed to be in the position I am.
Last question: if you weren't playing big time college football, what would you be doing? I mean, what's the plans maybe going forward, or anything that you'd be doing if you weren't doing this?
It's a great question. Gosh, I've been so focused on playing football. If I wouldn't played football, I might have tried to play basketball somewhere. So who knows? I would have been playing some kind of sport. So yeah, thank you.
Just kind of parlaying off being here for the second time in a row. You're not flying under the radar, obviously. You play at Titan University. You're one of the stars of the team. Do you lean into that type of pressure to be one of those leaders and one of those Hollywood guys for the Hawkeyes?
Not really. It's definitely a great honor, and I try to fulfill that role, but at the same time, I'm just trying to go out there and play football. That's all those guys ever did, and they were just put in the right spot, and they all worked very hard, definitely. So no, I'm just going out there and trying to do the best I can as a player.
How do you kind of contrast how this summer and this spring felt for the offense versus kind of the previous two summers?
Yeah, no, it's been good. As far as the past, I don't really want to hit on that, but this spring and summer was really good for us. It's been a lot of fun getting to learn a new offense, learn some new verbiage, and I feel like it just made me a better football player, have more knowledge, and so yeah, it's just cool to have the opportunity to do that.
What do you enjoy most out of this Tim Lester scheme?
I just think the motion, like I've always said, switching up the looks on defenses will be really cool, and maybe getting an opportunity to get open in space and everything like that.
When you signed with Iowa,
good to see you too.
When you signed with Iowa, you probably figured maybe I'll play in the horseshoe once and do it back-to-back years. How exciting is that for you?
No, it's exciting. It'll be fun, a cool opportunity to go back, and I'm sure I'll have a lot of people there, supporting me, and but at the end of the day, it's another game. I just gotta have that mindset that I'm going back there. It's a business trip. We're trying to go win a football game, and so it'll be cool. I didn't think we'd have the opportunity. I wish that they could come to Kinnick, and be in front of our fans. But I'll take it.
How different is the offense?
There's it's different. There's a lot of motion that we like to do, and get open in space and stuff like that. And but the thing is, at the end of the day, we're gonna run the ball and work off of that. So it's good.
Talk about the opportunity to play in the horseshoe. Growing up, is there any stadium that you haven't played in yet that you think would be really cool to get a chance to?
Yeah, I think playing in the Rose Bowl will be really cool. It's such a historic stadium. My dad played in that game a couple times, and the Rose Bowl growing up was like the biggest game, bigger to me than the national championship, because the Big Ten, the winner of the Big Ten gets to go there, and so I just think that game is always so cool. So playing there will be awesome.
Is there anything about Addison Ostranga that you think just really doesn't get highlighted enough?
I don't know if this does or doesn't, but he's just such a hard worker. He's super, dedicated, and just excited to go out there and work every day. And he's such a great teammate. So he will do whatever Coach Hodge asks him to do. I think I've heard Coach Hodge say that, and whatever anyone asks him to do. So he's great.
Did you realize he was as good of a baseball player as he was?
Well, I knew he was. I hosted him. I knew he was committed to play baseball first. So I figured he was pretty good. I was happy to see at that softball game he hit a couple home runs, so it was good.
What do you remember most from that visit?
We went to a hockey game. He was a good, I just remember he was a good person, and the guy we were with, they had fun together. That's what main things I remember.
Thanks, Luke.
Luke, obviously that third tight end spot ended up becoming really important last year with Addison stepping up with both you and Eric out. I guess who is kind of that third tight end right now? Is it Zach, who saw some time last year, Gavin, who a lot of people are excited about? Like, who is that third tight end right now?
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell. There's a lot of long time. It doesn't seem like there's a long time before the season, but there's a long time before the season with all these practices that we're going to have. And, someone can step up. Like you said, mentioned Zach and Gavin. They've been doing a great job. Johnny Pascuzzi has, got a lot of playing time last year as well, and he's done a really good job as well. So I'm excited for all of them, and who knows, one of them will fill that role, and they'll do a great job.
Any of them step up in particular over the spring? Maybe you saw like a flash of, that's something like Johnny could be awesome this coming year, Gavin, whatever.
I mean, they all showed flashes. It'll be, a good competition, and I just know that I feel like we're one of the deepest rooms at Iowa, and I'm just super glad that we have such a deep room because like you said, the tight end 3 position last year became so important. With Eric and I going down, and the best part was it really didn't feel like we missed a beat. So. We'll just see. Whoever steps into that role will do a great job.
You've been around Steve McNamara now for over a year.
Yeah.
What have you learned about him as a person?
Yeah, he's really passionate about football and about his teammates. So I always notice he loves hanging out the O-line and getting around them, and which is good. I'm sure he did that at Michigan too. But he did some. They were at some. He was in some parade at Solon last weekend. The town in Iowa City, and he had all the whole O-linemen wearing overalls. They were all matching. So likes to do that with them. It's great. It's what you want in a quarterback, and the O-line I'm sure loves it. And they'll block harder for him, so that's good. And then he's just really dedicated to football and a good leader.
I think last year was your first significant injury. How much did you realize you missed football?
I feel like that was the time where I really, I loved football, but you really realize how much you love it when you can't do it. So, it was tough for me, but you learn a lot about yourself and, a lot about trying to figure out other things to do to keep your mind busy. But I feel like it brings out a lot of your character as well. Just trying to be there for your teammates when they get to go out and play, and try to help them succeed as best they can.
Do you get even more worried though when that's a serious injury where that could have been it?
Yeah, I didn't think of it too much like that. I just it's a violent game, and anything can happen on any play. So you just gotta play like the old cliche. You gotta play every game like it's your last. And that's what I'm gonna do, and just super excited to get back out there. I can't wait.
When did you get back to feeling for another term 100%?
Yeah. Throughout the spring I had some nagging, injury feelings there, and I felt really good, and I wasn't sure if that was the 100%, but this summer has been amazing. Right now it feels great. Even a couple weeks into June, it just really turned a corner, and it feels amazing. I just can't wait to get back out. Hopefully it just keeps getting better.
It's funny, my son had a house on First Avenue, and you used to run down First Avenue, down the sidewalk and stuff. Everybody goes, there goes Luke Lachey.
Yeah.
Where's he headed? You know what I mean? But
probably home.
Yeah.
Just sprinting home.
You know what I mean? I meant that philosophical.
Oh yeah.
Stuff.
Oh, I know.
But I would think you wanted to play for Ohio State at one point in your growing up.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And it didn't happen. Is it? How do you put that in perspective? About maybe the dream, but the dream turned out to be a little bit different, but still.
Yeah,
a hell of a dream, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in tailgating. Chad knows about the tailgating, and I mean, we'd just be out there for hours and throwing the football. And so, you have the dream of playing there, but I couldn't have imagined it any other way. Being here, carving out my own story, and I don't know. Iowa is just so special, and the coaches and the players and the whole city, the whole Iowa nice thing. It's really true. Everyone in Iowa is just extremely nice, and it's just been super welcoming. And so I really just couldn't imagine it any other way. It's just
so
the whole dream. But
in this era of transfer portal, it never crossed your mind.
Never crossed my mind. No, never.
And what is like you just said? What is the biggest thing you've gotten out of playing for Kirk Ferentz and at Iowa? I mean, you talk about the family atmosphere and all that kind of and stuff. What's been the biggest thing you've gotten? Obviously, offensively, y'all struggled a little bit.
Yeah, I think the biggest, the family-like atmosphere. There's just a great tradition of tight ends there, and I feel like just like the hard nose, like kind of like you run the ball, block, and tight ends get the ball. So I don't know, it's cool, and I feel like that was a big thing for me, I guess.
When you got recruited, how much did they play that game with Ohio State?
I didn't hear about it too much. No, I didn't hear about it too much.
I mean, the tight ends.
They may have mentioned it. The tight ends looked great in that game. They that both had 2 touchdowns, Noah and TJ. So it was fun to watch. It's fun to watch the film now and the highlights of it. And yeah, I guess. I'd say another
one real quickly with your dad. Did you ever feel like eventually you're going to grow into a tackle? I mean, did you ever dread that day? I mean, because your guy likes to catch passes.
For sure, I do like to catch passes. Being a tackle is probably not that bad either, though. It's fun. In 2022, some of my teammates were like messing around with me and saying, "Oh, you might be getting too heavy," or blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't think so, but they're just messing with me. And I've had people telling me like, "Oh, you got to move tackle," but the thing is, they play tackle, so it's like, I don't know what you want me to do there. I love playing tight end, and I don't want to play another position.
So what do you think? That dream of maybe playing for Ohio State. You'll be back at Ohio Stadium this year. Just the opportunity to play back at home. What do you think that'll be like?
It'll be fun. I'm excited, for the opportunity. But at the end of the day, it's just another game. And it'll be cool to see family there. But yeah, just trying to focus on one game at a time. Treating every game the same.
Luke, will be calling their games at the same time as you're playing. I know I've talked to him before about how he has to get home to watch you or check in on it, but he'll be calling your game.
It'll be fun. Yeah, he's done it before, and he's gotten that first game out of the way. I've gotten my first game out of the way, so this time it'll be maybe a bit different.
Luke, I know. Last year you were captain, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I might be remembering wrong. And then they had that mic'd up video of you this spring, and a lot of the guys were saying this will be the most Luke talks all year. So I guess, how do you approach leadership, being a captain and a guy who's, I guess, not super talkative?
Yeah, I think maybe in that sense they were meaning like most, like maybe trash talk. I'll talk. I don't really talk much trash, but I'll motivate my teammates and tell them good job, or correct them if they're doing something wrong. And I feel like maybe that's where my leadership, comes from. But it's not. I'll talk. It's not like I just don't. I'm not just like mute all the time. But so I'll motivate.
What do you think this offense can be? You've seen it behind the scenes. We haven't. We've seen one game in the spring. What do you think it can be?
As far as I know, I think we can, go out there and just, do whatever he needs us to do. I'm confident in our abilities and in my teammates and in Coach Lester that he's going to put us in the right position to succeed. And I think I'm just confident in what we're going to be able to put out there and show everyone. I'm excited for it, and obviously there's a long time before, in our mind, before our first game, and so we'll be able to get it going.
Do you think there's an advantage to keeping stuff kind of on the down low, under wraps, with a new offensive coordinator? Especially in the first month, we got big games.
Yeah,
the whole month.
Yeah, I think so. There's definitely an advantage to it. You don't want to give too much out or whatnot, but I don't know for sure. I like to leave a lot of it to the offensive coordinator. I just go out there and just kind of do whatever he tells us.
Do you think this could be a playoff team?
Yeah. We got we got a lot of guys coming back, and I'm excited. And if anyone asked that question, you wouldn't think if oh no, we're not going to be a playoff team. No, we gotta have confidence in ourselves. I'm excited for the year, and we got a lot of returning guys and a lot of guys that are ready to go prove themselves.
You and Cade went through that injury portion of the year together. I guess was there a were you guys able to connect quite a bit over that time period? I mean, you were his first option for a good contingent of that time, and 10 receptions in 3 games, 2 1/4 really. But I guess, what was that time like for both of you guys?
Yeah, it was tough. You definitely grow close to him because you spend a lot of time, rehabbing and working out together. So, when the team's practicing, you're inside working out, and you get to learn some more about them as a human and players, and so it was cool. And really, I'm just excited for him to get back out there and show everyone what he can do.
Thanks, Luke.